What's going on, guys? It's your boy Dev, back with another one of these Dokkan Battle Vids, and today we're going to talk about STRUI. This unit is very simple and straight to the point. We're going to talk about how he did in his meta. You guys know the deal. Talk about how he did in his meta, talk about how he looks today, what's good, what's bad about him, and that's going to be the video. You guys know the simplistic things about how I do these unit reviews. This is specifically what I'm doing. A unit review from when they dominated or did well, or how they looked back then and how they look now. So, STRUI. So, how did he do during his meta? So, if I'm not incorrect, he came out during the Extreme Super Battle Road meta. So, he was a superb help. Not to mention that he is a global first. As you can see, he came out in May, and on JP, he came out in June. So, a month later, JP got him, and the month before, Global had him. Now, when this guy got revealed, people were losing their fucking mind. It got so crazy that the Japanese player base was fucking salty that Global was getting this guy first. So it's pretty crazy. Wait, this way or this? Yeah, it's like, I'm still trying to figure out my camera. So he's like right here. Yeah. The Japanese player base was, they wanted this guy. They wanted him. So he is a global first, and he did come out during a meta that definitely did need his help, of course. That definitely needed him. I mean, this guy dominated Extreme Super Battle Road. He dominated Extreme Super Battle Road. He dominated Battle Road. Of course, he dominated Battlefield. What unit doesn't dominate Battlefield? I just throw it in there just cuz. And he did well in long events. Now, I know, if I'm not incorrect, the Legendary GT Goku event came out in 2021, and the Legendary Vegeta event came out in 2021 also, if I'm not incorrect. I believe so. Down below, go ahead and let me know if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure this came out a year after this guy came out. So, yes, I mean, this is technically the year of long events / Extreme Super Battle Road, so this guy did well in the Legendary Goku event. The main reason being that he did well in the Legendary Goku event is because he was a build-up unit, and his defense got high enough to take attacks from UI Goku and STRUI Goku. Even though he could dodge STRUI Goku and he can't dodge UI Goku, he was able to take a hit from that boss. So I think in all actuality, this guy was fine for long events at the time. He was good enough to run, provided you got his dodge fully built up. Now, I know his dodge runs out after the 8th turn, and it turns into a 50% chance of dodge, but it's okay because he would already be fully built up, and he'd be shitting out like a 6 million attack stat, 7 million attack stat. This guy was pretty goddamn nasty for his time. Now, of course, I've already talked about it. He did well in his meta. He shitted on Extreme Super Battle Road, and he shitted on long events. Now, how does he look today? Honestly, there's literally no reason you should be using this guy. Specifically because red zone meta, what's the point? There's quite literally zero reason to use this guy at all. Unless you're like, okay, if you're like a newer player or like a middle ground player and you still need to get stages done for specific events, I mean, sure, but like, we're talking about red zone meta, and I'm talking about you endgame players out there. I'm talking about the sweaty fucking endgame players, such as myself. So, I mean, for those, or casual endgame players, for all the endgame players in a fucking bubble, in a vacuum, you don't use this unit in there. No. Even him fully built up is not enough. This guy does have 200% leader skills. Yes? Yeah, he's on Vegeta and Trunks' Bond of Parent-Child / Accelerated Battle? Let me double check that. What is Vegeta and Trunks' 200% leader skill again? And I saw it yesterday. It's Battle of Fate. He's on Battle of Fate, right? He isn't. That's weird. Why is he not on Battle of Fate? But AGL-UI is on Battle of Fate. Okay, never mind then. Okay, but he definitely is on a couple of 200% leader skills. He's on the Int Gods, the Int ROF Blues 200% leader skill. He's on the Powerful Comeback 200% leader skill with the Bird Coup. He's also on, what else? He's on the Is that it? I think that's it. He's gonna be on 200% leader skills? Yeah. Yeah, wow. I might be wrong, but yes, he's definitely on 200% leader skills, but there's no reason to use this guy in the red zone. He'll get your shit folded. That's particularly about it, because his dodge runs out, his build up is not going to be enough, and he'll get you killed. That's just that simple. It's unless you see yourself blitzing the stage in 7 turns or less, go ahead and use this guy for a third slot unit to dodge anything in that that specific slot. But other than that, there's really no reason to use this guy. I already implemented that. So, what's good about him, right? Of course, the things that are good about this guy is his passive is pretty goddamn good. It's a pretty good passive. I mean, for his time, of course, this is a great passive because a 70% chance to dodge. He's building up key, attack, and defense. He has a great link set. He's on a plethora of category teams where he could dominate on. Pure Saiyans, Universe Side, Reps Universe 7, Kamehameha, Goku's family, like all these great fucking category teams for the time. This guy was definitely working extremely well on those category teams, especially since he is a prepare for battle over in a flash unit. Over in a flash was not a dead link at the time, so that link was actually, that was super good for the time. Definitely super good. He's also a tournament of power unit, so you know how that goes. If you take a look at his best linking partners, him and AGOUI, if I'm not incorrect, was probably the best rotation in the game. I mean, wait, that's 6 year. Excuse me. That, provided we're moving on to next year, into 2021, but I don't think I go ahead and talk about Int UI, the Easy UI Goku, and the AGOUI because they weren't in the game at the time. Let's go ahead and go down. If I'm not incorrect, STRUI's release helped out Blue Cow King Goku, who I'm pretty sure who was out at the time. He helped out the 50th anniversary Blue Gogeta. Fuck, I'm trying to think of his name because I barely use this guy anymore. And I think that's really about it. And Blue Boys. Did Blue Boys come out in 2020? I gotta check. Did they come out in 2020? Yo, I'm like, my thought process today is kind of ass. I'm not gonna cap. Let me double check. They did come out in 2020. They did, but they came out the same month. Interesting. Okay, so they came out later that same month. So, I mean, these two as a rotation, that don't seem too bad. But yes, as time went on, they basically gave this guy a better linking partner. Well, 2 better linking partners. This guy after his Easy A, who I would argue would be ridiculous if this was just, if Int UI Goku was this form of him, that boy would be nasty. And we have the AGOUI. You guys already know, this was probably pound for pound one of the best rotations in the game in 2021. I mean, yeah. This guy, STRUI, saw a resurgence the very next year after his release for AGOUI and STRUI. That rotation was pretty goddamn nasty. But you guys know who aged better than STRUI? Obviously AGOUI, but yeah. I mean, of course, I've already talked about his passive was definitely great for the time. His link sales was great for the time. His category, him being on those specific category teams and helping him out was great for the time. Now, the problem with this unit, I would say, is the fact that his dodge does run out and it turns into a 50% chance to dodge. But I mean, if you can make the case, you can argue that that's fine because we have units like Goku and Gohan. Like, I know I'm comparing a TUR's passive to a LR's passive in terms of dodging, but I think it's fair. Okay, I think it's fair to compare the fucking dodging. Like, who else can I compare? Like, what's another dodging unit that's an LR that I can compare to this guy? I mean, okay, just for the sake of this video, I don't like comparing TURs and LRs, but for the sake of this video, we're going to be using the Goku and Gohan's passive, who if I'm not correct, they have a 50% chance to dodge, and then this guy gains a 50% chance to dodge. You can make the case that the coin flip passive can work, especially after this guy's passive does run out. You can make the case. Now, I think that's the 2 issues about this guy is, A, his super attack effect is ass. Disabling guard is still useless to this day. And B, his dodging passive runs out after the 8th turn and turns into a 50% chance to dodge. I think that there's not really too many things to say about this guy. This guy he's first time he was good, and now he just got power crept. It's just that simple. He got power crept offensively. And defensively, if you want to make the case, I mean, for the new meta of red zone, it's like you really this it doesn't make any sense to use this guy because his defense is too goddamn low. And people, you know what people love to say. They're like, okay, so you talk to someone who's a fucking Dokkan head, right? I'm just gonna call it a Dokkan head because I can't really think of anybody. I can't think of anything else. You talk to someone who's like a Dokkan head, right? So they look at his pass. They're like, okay, we're gonna bring him into the red zone on a 20% leader skill, right? We got a couple of issues here. His super attack effects suck, and his passive runs out. And when he does build up, him building up ki when he dodges is great, but the issue is that his defense is not going to be enough because it's only up to 77% attack and defense. So this guy was good first time. Now, don't run him in the red zone. You can run him anywhere else. Don't run him in the red zone. Also, I think that is very underrated that this guy actually does well he does well in long events. I plead with you guys for his time in the Legendary Goku event. I think he did fine. I think he did quite fine. Now, I think that's really about it. STRUI Goku, the global first with a great link set, good category teams. I mean, his passer was pretty goddamn good for the time. He was the best unit in the game. Immediately, when he first dropped, he was the best unit in the game. It wasn't even close. Well, who came close to him? Like Tech Jiren? Maybe Tech Jiren. I mean, but you guys see how he aged. I will argue that this guy aged better than Tech Jiren. Now, before I close out the video, this is one of those units. Well, I keep pointing this way. This is one of those units where people say that he doesn't dodge for me. So that's going to be the thumbnail, and that's going to be the title of the video. But yeah, I appreciate you guys watching. You guys are the best. I keep repeating myself on this guy. You guys pretty much get the gist. I like to get it in there. You guys completely understand how this guy works and all that good stuff. But yeah, I appreciate you guys watching. You guys are the best. I'll catch you guys in the next video. And thank you guys for the video suggestions. Keep on commenting down below. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.